Licensure examination for teachers. No copyright infringement intended. This video is for educational purposes only. You can also follow our YouTube channel for more video. Just search for Future Magister. Are you ready, future teachers? Let's start our review. Number 1. The Filipino writer is known for his or her love sonnets. Edad tiempo. Love sonnets, edad tiempo. 2. Who is considered as the proponent of arena theater in the Philippines? Severino Montano. Again, arena theater, Severino Montano. 3. Who founded the Philippine Educational Theater Association? Cecil Alvarez. Again, Filipino Educational Theater Association, Cecil Alvarez. Number 4. The princess is known to have a penchant for expensive things like jewelry. The underlined word means fondness. Penchant, fondness. 5. The expression, put your finger in the pie, means the following except. To bake a pie. Except to bake a pie. She went home early because she feels a little under the weather. The underlined expression means the following except. Bad weather. Except bad weather. Number 7. The student has wrote a short note for her teacher. Which word made the sentence wrong? The answer is wrote. Again, wrote. 8. Which of the following sentences is the last certain? D. She may leave tomorrow. D. She may leave tomorrow. 9. The class valedictorian showed composure as she delivered her speech in front of the graduating batch. Composure means B. Calmness. Composure, calmness. Among the given words below, which one has the ZH sound? Vision. ZH sound, vision. Who is considered as the proponent of sala theater? Nate Rogers. Laging tandaan na kapag arena theater, Severino Montano. Kapag sala theater, Nate Rogers. 12. The Greek goddess Aphrodite is known for her unquestionable pulchritude. The underlined word means beauty. Pulchritude, beauty. My father is not anywhere complaining about the harsh New York winter. He lives in Florida now. He lives in Florida now. 14. The phrase red letter day is an example of idiom. Red letter day, idiom. The aristocratic leader was ousted from his position because the people discovered frivolous way of leadership. Frivolous means not serious. Frivolous, not serious. Which is the correct description of the sound P? Voiceless bilabial plosive. Again, voiceless bilabial plosive. My concept of inner peace came from mother's daily activities, which I now recall with fondness and awe. She was a full-time housewife wholly dependent on my father's monthly salary. How she made both ends meet, guided us in our studies, and did small acts of charity on the side was beyond me. Based on a given paragraph, the mother's finances were limited. The underlined group of words in a given paragraph is an example of idiom. Again, idiom. 19. What is meant by underlined group of words in the paragraph? To make use of resources wisely so that it will be enough. The mother in the given paragraph can serve an example of being charitable. Again, being charitable. 21. All of my relatives are now living in the Philippines. In the Philippines. The senators are all together inside the session hall. They are already preparing for the deliberation. Again, all together inside the session hall.
Stanza A. Memory all alone in the moonlight. I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Let the memory live again.
Stanza B. Daylight, I must wait for the sunrise. I must think of a new life, and I must not give in. When the dawn comes, tonight will be a memory too, and a new day will begin.
23. These stanzas are taken from which Broadway musical written by Andrew Lloyd Webber? The answer is Cats. Again, Cats. 24. What feeling is being expressed in stanza A? Nostalgia. Again, nostalgia. How about the feeling that is being expressed in stanza B? A. Hope. Again, hope. 26. Fish and fries is my favorite afternoon snack. Again, is. 27. The fire that broke out in our town last night believed to have been caused by loose electrical wiring. Again, loose electrical wiring. 28. This theater organization initiated the use of our mother tongue in the plays that is produced. B. Philippine Educational Theater Association. Sino nga ulit ang founder dito? Si Cecil Alvarez. Again, Philippine Educational Theater Association. 29. Nothing happens in this world by chance. It is all of a grand design. The author speaks of one's destiny. Number 30. If you want the moon, I will get it for you. Is an example of hyperbole. Again, hyperbole. 31. Sa panitikang Pilipino, aling nobela ang unang isinulat sa wikang Ingles? C. A Child of Sorrow. Again, unang sinulat sa wikang Ingles? A Child of Sorrow. 32. Ito ay disenyong pananaliksik na nagsisiyasat sa pamamagitan ng talatanungan at pakikipanayam. D. Sorbet. Again, sorbet. 33. Ang tinanggap niyang tulong ay tila habog sa uhaw na tadutot ng bulaklak. Ano ang katumbas ng kahulugan nito? Biyayang nakalunas ng kahirapan. Biyayang nakalunas ng kahirapan. 34. Anong uri ng panlapi ang ginamit sa nagkamabutihan? Kabilaan. Nagkamabutihan, kabilaan. 35. Isang kayumanggi ang nabuwal sa bagong bayad dahil sa pagmamahal sa inang bayad. Anong uri ito ng patayutay na pahayag? Pagpapalit tawag. Pagpapalit tawag. 36. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang patungkol sa pagpapahalaga sa pagtitipid? Kapag may isinuksok, may madudukot. Kapag may isinuksok, may madudukot. 37. Anong uri ng pagbabagong morpoponimiko ang naganap sa litang pamunas? Asimilasyong ganap. Asimilasyong ganap. 38. Ito ay tumutukoy sa posisyon ng mga salitang pangnilalaman at mga salitang pangkayarian. B. Syntax. Syntax. 39. Alin ang itinuturing na pinakamahalagang bahagi ng balita na siyang unang binibigyan ng pansin at umaakit sa mambabasa? Lead. Again, lead. 40. Ito ang taon na ipinapatupad ng formal ang Filipino bilang wikang pambansa sa Pilipinas. 1980. Filipino bilang wikang pambansa, 1980. 41. Kailangan ko magsikap ng mabuti sa pag-aaral para sa aking mga magulang. Kailangan ko magsikap ng mabuti sa pag-aaral para sa aking mga magulang. 42. Alin ang nagsasaad ng palaging kilos? Palasumbong. Palaging kilos, palasumbong. 43. Ano ang purpose ng pandiwas sa pangungusap na ito? Namili ng mga bagong damit si Jason. D. Actor. Namili ng mga bagong damit si Jason. D. Actor. 44. Nagbabara ang butas na ilong ni Roberto sa tuwing maalala patak sila ng kaibigan. Anong kahulugan ng bahaging may salangguhit? Naiinis. Again, naiinis. 45. Ito ay pagbasang may mataas na antas, sistematiko, komplikado at komparatibo. Sintopikan. Pag may antas, sistematiko, komplikado at komparatibo, sintopikan. 46. Anong uri ng parelalang simuno ang ginamit sa pangungusap na ito? Isalang-alang natin ang bukas. Parelalang pag-abay. Parelalang pag-abay. 47. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang tambalang ganap? Alilang kanin. Tambalang ganap, alilang kanin. 48. Inihatid na sa huling hantungan ang mga nasawi. Ano ang paksa ng pangungusap? Nasawi. Ang paksa ng pangungusap? Nasawi. 49. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang halimbawa ng pangungusap na walang paksa? Gusto raw. Pangungusap na walang paksa? Gusto raw. 50. Patakbong lumapit si Scarlett sa kanyang mga kalaro. Alin ang pang-abay sa pangungusap? Patakbo. Pang-abay sa pangungusap, patakbo. 51. Anong tsura ng wika na nagsasabing ang wika ay nilikabungan ng mga tunog na ilikha ng mga hayop? Bawaw. Tunog ng mga hayop, bawaw. Natutulog ba ang Diyos? Anong uri ng tayutay ang pahayag? Rhetorical na tanong. Natutulog ba ang Diyos? Rhetorical na tanong. 53. Ano uri ng panitikan ang tumatalakay sa kwento hinggil sa pinagmulaan ng sansinukob at kalipunan ni iba't ibang paniniwala sa mga Diyos at Diyosa? Mitolohiya. Paniniwala sa mga Diyos at Diyosa? Mitolohiya. 54. Si Kevin ay hinahalaan ko. Ano ang ayos na pangungusap? Di karaniwan. Si Kevin ay hinahalaan ko. Di karaniwan. 55. Ano tungkulin ng wika ang sumasaklaw sa masiring na paraan ng pagpapahayag gaya ng panulaan, prosa, sanaysay at iba pa? Poetic. Panulaan, prosa, sanaysay, poetic. 56. Ano ang tawag sa wikang nagmula sa isang pidgin at naging unang wika sa isang lugar na nagkakaroon ng pattern o mga tuntuning sinunod ng mga karamihan? Creole. Sinunod ng mga karamihan? Creole. 57. Ano ang tawag sa dula noong panahon ng Kastila na nagpapakita ng labanan sa pagitan ng Kristiyano at Muslim? Moro-moro. Pagitan ng Kristiyano at Muslim? Moro-moro. 58. Winawasto ng guro ang pagsusulit ng kanyang mga mag-aaral. Anong aspekto ng pandiwa ang ginamit sa pangungusap? Imperfectibo. Imperfectibo. 59. Sa anong bahagi ng pananaliksik matatagpuan ang mga babasahing papagkukunan ng mga literatura ng pag-aaral? Kabanata 2. Literatura ng pag-aaral? Kabanata 2. 60. Ito ay isang komunikasyong pampubliko na nagpapaniwalat at naghihikayat at binibigkas harap ng madla. Talumpati. Talumpati. 61. 0.0125 expressed as fraction in lowest term is 540,000. 540,000. 62. If April 19, 2014 fell on Saturday, in what day will April 19, 2016 fall? D. Tuesday. Again, Tuesday. 63. In materials engineering test, 9 students obtained the following grades: 80, 86, 78, 88, 90, 83, 76, 84, 92. What is the median grade? B. 86. Again, 86. 64. What percent more than 24 is 30? A. 20%. Again, 20%. 65. Clarissa paid 1,500 for a handbag that was sold to her at 25% discount. What is the original price of handbag? 2,000. Again, 2,000. 66. Given the equation 7x equals 91, if you divide both sides of the equation by 7, what is the result? 13. Again, 13. 67. Fuentes Company manufactures gaming chairs. A table price at 8,000 was sold with 20% discount. How much was paid for the table? 6,400. Again, 6,400. 71. The average of 4 numbers is 38. If 3 of the 4 numbers are 48, 36, and 40, what is the 4th number? B. 24. Again, 24. 72. Find the greatest common divisor of 36, 54, 72. C. 18. Again, 18. 73. A Toyota car traveling at a rate of 60 kilometers per hour. After 2 hours, Kia car followed traveling at the rate of 90 kilometers per hour. How long is it before Kia overtakes Toyota? B. 6 hours. Again, 6 hours. 68. Factor negative x squared minus 13x plus 5 completely. D. 3x minus 5, negative 2x minus 1. Again, 3x minus 5, negative 2x minus 1. 69. In how many ways can 3 girls and 2 boys be seated in row alternately? 12 ways. Again, 12 ways. 70. What do you call a triangle with 2 sides? Isosceles. A triangle with 2 sides? Isosceles. 74. A wooden plank has dimensions 2 feet by 1.5 foot by 6 inches. What is its volume in cubic inches? C. 1.5. Again, 1.5. 75. Divide 6.2424 by 3.06. What is the quotient? 2.04. Again, 2.04. 76. A certain recipe called for 6 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 cup of water. What is the ratio of sugar to egg? D. 1/2. Again, 1/2. 77. What is the probability of getting a sum of 10 in a single throw of a pair of dice? B. 2 over 21. Again, 2 over 21. 78. Pedro spent 21,000 for 3 sides of his square fence. How much will the remaining fence cost? B. 7,000. Again, 7,000. 79. The probability that Abba will be alive in 25 years is 3 over 5, and that of his wife is 2 over 3. What is the probability that both will be alive? A. 2 over 5. Again, 2 over 5. 80. 3/4 of what number is 39? B. 52. Again, 52. 81. A worm crawls on a branch that is 32 cm long. How long is the branch in millimeter? A. 320 mm. Again, 320 mm. 82. Which of the following is the last digit of 1234.7865 rounded up to the nearest hundreds? A. 9. Again, 9. 83. A garden is an equilateral triangle in shape. One side is 17 feet. How many meters of short fencing are needed to enclose the garden? D. 51 feet. Again, 51 feet. 84. A family monthly income is 35,000. The family spends 30% for food, 20% for rent, 10% for clothing, and 18% for miscellaneous expenses. How much is saved in the percentage? D. 22%. Again, 22%. 85. A certain number is doubled and decreased by 5 is 33. What is the number? B. 19. Again, 19. 86. Angles whose sum equals 90 degrees are complementary. Again, complementary. 87. What is the last common multiple of 15 and 25? B. 75. Again, 75. 88. The vertex angle of isosceles triangle is 30. What is the measure of one of the base angles? C. 75. Again, 75. 89. Which is not a fraction between 3/8 and 7/8? A. 1/4. Again, 1/4. 90. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 126. What are the integers? C. 41, 42, and 43. Again, 41, 42, and 43. 91. Which of the following processes is not a part of the central dogma of molecular biology? D. Denaturation. Again, denaturation. Which of the following is not a terrestrial biome? B. Estuary. Again, estuary. 93. What is the maximum amount of electrons that can be accommodated in the third energy level? C. 18. Again, 18. 94. Which of the following statements is true? B. Shorter wavelengths have higher frequencies than lower wavelengths. Again, shorter wavelengths have higher frequencies than longer wavelengths. 95. During the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, the sun is shining directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. Again, Tropic of Capricorn. 96. In which phase of mitosis does the cytokinesis occur? D. Telophase. Again, telophase. 97. Which of the following infectious agents only replicates when they are inside their host cells? B. Virus. Again, virus. 98. Which of the following is incorrectly paired? B. Heterogeneous mixture solution. Again, heterogeneous mixture solution. 99. Which of the following organelles is associated with protein synthesis? Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. 100. When water and oil are mixed together, what is expected to happen? D. No reaction. Why? Okay, letter A. Dapat yung oil ang float above the water. Yung letter B naman, it will not form homogeneous. Dapat heterogeneous mixture. And then, there's no heat will produce kapag nagmix yung water and oil. So the best answer is no reaction. Again, no reaction. 101. The astronomer who developed the theory that the sun is in the center of the solar system was Copernicus. Again, Copernicus. 101. Sterling silver, which is an alloy of copper and silver, is considered to be a solid-solid solution. Again, solid solution. 103. A woman cannot bear a child because a defective fallopian tube. However, a modern technological processes can help her bear a child through the union of ovum and sperm inside a test tube. This process is called in vitro fertilization. Again, in vitro fertilization. 104. Dengue is an infectious disease transmitted by a carrier. This carrier is classified under phylum Arthropoda and class Insecta. Again, Insecta. 105. During what part of the day is carbon dioxide released in plants? D. Evening. Para kapag oxygen, morning. Again, carbon dioxide, evening. Oxygen, morning. 106. A forest suffers from wildfires. However, the remains are still considered to be viable. 5 years later, trees and other plants are seen growing in this forest. This condition is called secondary ecological succession. Again, secondary ecological succession. 107. Which of the following is an example of anabolic metabolism? Photosynthesis. Again, photosynthesis. Another example are bone development and muscle growth. 108. Which of the following is an example of deceleration? A car approaching a stop signal. Again, deceleration, a car approaching a stop signal. 109. The chemical equation 6H20 plus 6C02 plus light plus C6H1206 plus 602 is an example of an endothermic synthesis reaction. Again, endothermic synthesis reaction. 110. Which of the following does not belong under the plant kingdom? Algae. Again, algae, because it belongs to kingdom Protista. 11. All statements are true about the hydrogen atom except it is a metalloid. Except it is a metalloid. 112. Which of the following is true when a block of wood lays at rest on the top of the table? B. The sum of the forces acting on the block is 0. Again, the sum of the forces acting on the block is 0. 113. Which of the following pairs of body parts is considered homologous? A. Human arms and cells flippers. Again, human arms and cells flippers. 114. Which of the following is true of recessive alleles? B. They will only have phenotypic expression if they are homozygous. Again, they will only have phenotypic expression if they are homozygous. 115. The term used in showing the feeding conditions among all the living things is called food web. Again, food web. 116. Why do we hear thunder some seconds after seeing lightning? Because light travels faster than the sound. Again, light travels faster than sound. 117. What property of matter is involved in the sign, fasten your seatbelt? Inertia. Fasten your seatbelt? Inertia. 118. When the North Pole is tilted towards the sun, it is summer. When the sun shines all the time, both day and night, what is this called? Midnight sun. Again, midnight sun. 119. Which is an example of non-pathogenic microorganism? Probiotic. Again, non-pathogenic microorganism, probiotics. 120. Because the production of fossil fuels, petroleum and coal will run out in the near future, it is called non-renewable resources. Again, non-renewable resources. 121. Republic Act 10963 is also called Train Law. Again, Republic Act 10963, Train Law. 122. The setup that the Philippines uses for its legislature is bicameral. It means that our legislative body has 2 chambers. Again, bicameral. 123. Inaugurated on June 30, 1998 at Barashuain Church in Malolos, Bulacan, Joseph Estrada is the 30th President of the Philippines. Again, Joseph Estrada. 124. All of the countries below are considered peninsulas except Japan. Again, except Japan. 125. The Republic Act is also known as the Cooperative Code of the Philippines, BRA 6938. Again, Cooperative Code of the Philippines, RA 6938. 126. The first part of the Constitution is the preamble. The underlined word means to walk before. Preamble, to walk before. 127. On September 21, 1972, President Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law through Proclamation 1081. Again, Proclamation 1081. 128. On the eve of his scheduled execution, Jose Rizal wrote one of his most memorable poems entitled My Last Farewell. Again, My Last Farewell. 129. As a reaction to the very liberal rule of his predecessor, this Philippine Governor-General posited that he will rule the Philippines with a crucifix in one hand and a sword in the other. Rafael Izquierdo. Again, Rafael Izquierdo. 130. Who among the artists below is known for his abstract works? Pablo Picasso. Again, Pablo Picasso. 131. This Philippine president was known as the idol of the masses. He also the 7th president and the 3rd president of the Third Republic, Ramon Magsaysay. Again, Ramon Magsaysay. 132. In which Congress was the Bamsamoro Biciclo signed? 17th Congress. Again, 17th Congress. 133. Who was the last Governor-General of the Philippines? Diego de los Rios. Again, the last Governor-General of the Philippines, Diego de los Rios. 134. The first labor union in the Philippines was organized by Isabelo de los Rios. The first labor union, Isabelo de los Rios. 135. The national government imposes these taxes except one, real property tax. Except real property tax. 136. What is the power of the state to take away property for public use with just compensation? Eminent domain. Again, eminent domain. 137. Of the following train law, which is exempted from final tax? A. PCSO on Luto winnings 10,000 below. Again, PCSO on Luto winnings 10,000 pesos below. 138. 3 months ago, Mark's budget of 4,000 can buy 6 kg chicken, 2 kg beef, 5 kg pork, 2 kg mixed seafoods, and 1 kg fish. Now, given the same amount of budget, he can only buy less a kilo of each. This is an example of inflation. Again, inflation. 139. This element of culture is considered as one of the behavioral standards in society which prescribes what citizens must and must not do. Norms. Again, norms. 143. This process is called the harmonious blending of a subculture with a dominant culture. Assimilation. Again, assimilation. 141. If the demand is equal to supply, there will be equilibrium. Again, equilibrium. In train law, which good is exempted from excise tax? 3-in-1 coffee. Again, 3-in-1 coffee. 143. The purpose of GAD is to ensure that both men and women can participate in and benefit from development in a way that is equitable. GAD stands for Gender and Development. Again, Gender and Development. 144. Found in Bohol, this primate is considered as one of the smallest in the world. Tarsier. Again, tarsier. 145. What are the two functions of the katipunan? Magdiwang at magdalo. Again, magdiwang at magdalo. 146. The two functions of the Katipunan held a meeting on March 22, 1897. This meeting is also called the Tijeros Convention. Again, on March 22, 1897, Tijeros Convention. 147. The following are the chapters of Rizal's book except Crispin. Again, except Crispin. 148. This pertains to the trade between Philippines and Mexico. Galleon trade. Again, galleon trade. 149. The world-renowned author wrote the book What is Art, which was inspired by his visit inside an opera house. Tolstoy. Again, Tolstoy. 150. Participation in governance, including the right to vote and right to be elected in public office, as well as secured within the citizenry. Political rights. Again, political rights. 1. A paperclip sits on a surface of water due to B. Surface tension. Again, surface tension. Next, we failed to finish blank work. Were you able to finish blank? The answer is letter D, our and yours. We failed to finish our work. Were you able to finish yours? Subject as we, and its possessive pronoun is our. Next is the subject as you, and its possessive pronoun is yours. Next, the following are renewable sources of energy except B. Coal. Coal is classified as non-renewable energy source. Number 4. Kung Fu Chu wrote analects that guided Confucianism. Analects was guided by Confucius' belief of Confucianism. 5. The first Philippine president from the Ilocos region was Elpidio Quirino. Elpidio Quirino of Ilocosur became the first Ilocano president in 1948 after the death of Rojas. He was elected as the president of the next year in his own right. 6. A perfume company claims it's the best-selling perfume contains at most 25% alcohol. To test the claim of the perfume company at the 0.5 level of significance, witty bottles were selected and found to have mean of 29.7% and a standard deviation of 4.8%. To test the null hypothesis, the best-selling perfume contains at the most 25% alcohol. The answer is letter B. Seven, the candidate was obviously agitated as she spoke before the big audience because she showed nervousness. Agitated was feeling or appearing troubled or nervous. 8. An avocado tree planted beside a sampaguita plant in a garden. Demonstrate what kind of relationship? D. Competition. Nutrient competition has selected for plants to maintain higher root length and light competition plants that are taller with deeper, flatter canopies. 9. What are the hormones responsible for plant growth, promoting auxiliary bud growth and apical dominance? Letter A. Cytokinins and auxins. 10. Which is a check on the executive department by the judiciary in the principle of check and balance among branches of government? Letter B. Declaring an act of the President unconstitutional. The Supreme Court and other federal courts or judicial branch can declare laws or presidential actions unconstitutional in a process known as judicial review. 11. Find the greatest common divisor of 34, 45, and 5. The answer is letter A, 1. 12. What are the prime factors of 60? The answer is letter C, 5, 3, 2, 2. First, reject option A and option B, since 6 and 12 are not prime numbers. Lastly, multiply the numbers in option A and option B if we can get 60. So the answer is letter C. 13. Ang buhay na wika ay wikang tumatanggap sa pagbabago ng naaayon sa panahon. Ang mga sumusunod ay may buhay na wika, maliban sa Latin. Ang Latin ay isang wikang patay. Ito ay tinuturing na patay dahil matagal na itong nawala sa paggamit ng kolokyal, ngunit itinuturo ito sa mga universidad. Ginagamit sa pamayan ng pang-agham at maraming mga salita mula sa Latin ang ginagamit pa rin. 14. The ordering of things according to the importance of a person attaches to them is known as hierarchy of needs. The Maslow hierarchy of needs states that humans are motivated to fulfill their needs in hierarchical order. This order begins with the most basic needs before moving on to more advanced needs. 15. The computer's brain, called Central Processing Unit, or what we call CPU, is the brain of computer, containing all the circuitry needed to process, input, store data, and output results. 16. Wikang nabuo mula sa pangunahing wika na isang lugar o lalawigan na kadalasang sinasalita sa ibang bayan ng naturang lugar ay patlang. Sagot, dialect. Ito ang mga wikang nabuo mula sa pangunahing wika na isang lalawigan na kadalasang sinasalita sa iba't ibang bayang nasasakupan. 17. At the onset of the 21st century, global warming has exacerbated. Again, has. 18. All of the following contribute to environmental conservation except A. Carburetor exhaust. It is a device for supplying a spark ignition engine with a mixture of fuel and air that can be harmful in the environment. So, kabaligtaran po siya ng conservation. It is the harmful in the environment. 19. No two individuals are the same. Is exemplified by the principle of individual differences. No two individuals are the same, even twins have individual differences. 20. Ang kahulugan ng in my family budget, I have difficulty making both ends meet ay di mapagkasya. Kung ating isalin ito sa wikang Tagalog, sa budget ng pamilya ko nahirapan akong ipagkasya na namumuhulugang di niya mapagkasya ang budget sa pamilya. To make ends meet means to pay for the things that you need to live when you have little money. 21. Guzman Company manufactures beds. In its catalog, a double bed is priced at 5,000 less a discount of 20%. What will Rosa department store will pay for the bed? Letter C. 4,000. 22. Political idealists advocate ideals in politics, such as justice, equality, and fairness. Political realists have more practical viewpoint of politics, aptly stated by might is right. Who among the following is more a political realist rather than political idealist? Letter B. Julius Caesar. The key words is the might is right. 23. Educational theorist who experimented in learning among animals is letter A. Skinner. Skinner, in 1948, studied operant conditioning by conducting experiments using animals. 24. Oxygen is the waste product of the process of letter A. Oxygen. The oxygen is the waste product of photosynthesis. 26. The depletion of dissolved oxygen in water results into eutrophication causes diminished sea harvest. Eutrophication causes increase in dissolved nutrients, overabundance of algae and plants, harmful algal blooms, dead zones and fish kills. This leads to a reduced catch for commercial and recreational fisheries, meaning smaller harvests and more expensive seafoods. 27. We admire her when my sister plays the violin for us. We admire her when my sister plays the violin for us. 28. Malinaw na paliwanag, matikas na tindig, at napapanahong paksa ay mahalagang salik ng talumpati. Ang talumpati ay pampubliko at pormalang pagpapahayag ng saloobin at damdamin ng isang issue o paksa. Ang mahalagang salik na dapat bigyang diin sa pagsulat ng isang talumpati ay ang paghahanda, pagpapanatili ng kawilihan ng tagapakinig, pagpapanatili ng kasukdulan, at ang pagbibigay ng konklusyon sa tagapakinig. 29. Mysticism and spiritualism are the predominant characteristic of the religions of Asia. This aspect of mysticism is found in religions such as Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and Hinduism. All of these religions believe in God, an ultimate divine entity perceptions, but can arise only through the cooperation of the peculiar spiritual organism of man. Such feelings may be termed mystical. Asia is the birthplace of 11 major religions whose written records include Judaism, Hinduism, Taoism, Shintoism, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity, Islam, Sikhism, and the Baha'i Faith. 30. What is the area of a circle inscribed in square having a side of 6 centimeters? The answer is letter A, 9. Again, 9. 31. Find the least common multiple of 5, 6, and 7. The answer is letter D, 210. Again, 210. The science of beings and their ultimate causes is philosophy. Philosophy is the science of all things true, ultimate causes investigated by the light of natural reason alone. 33. My young niece thought that our assigned task was heavy for me and especially for her. The answer is letter C, us. My young niece thought that our assigned task was heavy for me and especially for her. A niece is female, while a nephew is male. The subject is niece and its personal pronoun is her. 34. The demand of energy is projected to double in 2040, at which time fuel sources will likewise be depleted, and therefore there will be increased need to develop alternative source of energy. To reduce the dependence of fossil fuels like oil, coal, and natural gas, there should be a growth of alternative energy sources. 35. The world's largest ecosystem of deserts is Sahara. The Sahara Desert is the largest hot desert in the world. 36. The Kyoto Protocol required countries to participate in environmental protection by reducing greenhouse emission. The Kyoto Protocol is an international agreement adopted in 1997 that aimed to reduce carbon dioxide emissions and the presence of greenhouse gases. 37. Insulin deficiency or resistance of the pancreas leads to diabetes mellitus. Diabetes is caused by insulin deficiency or insulin resistance. Diabetes mellitus is caused by a relative or absolute deficiency of insulin action. 38. In the process of submission, one of the documents was misplaced. Again, in the process of submission, one of the documents was misplaced. 39. The population increases geometrically, but food supply does not increase as much in the economic theory known as Malthusian. Malthus stated that population increased in a geometric progression. 40. Airing weekly on television is Boca, which regularly features the fleet of commonplace citizens engaged in honest toil. Mukha motivates viewers to appreciate the dignity of labor. Dignity refers to the state of being worthy of esteem or respect. A person with integrity will be the honest and follow a strict moral code. Toil is the same as labor. 41. In our organization assembly, we had a loquacious speaker. The capitalized word means verbose. Again, loquacious, verbose. 42. England dominated most aspects of life in Europe during the reign of England's Virgin Queen Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I was England's Gloriana, a virgin queen who saw herself as wedded to her country. 43. The grades in English of the students in Section B are as follows: 80, 75, 60, 95, and 100. What is the population variance of their group? This is a long process and the right answer is 206. So, kapag may ma-encounter kayo ng ganito, yung wala sa choices yung tamang sagot, please choose the closest answer. So, for this question, the closest answer is the option B, 224. Again, the correct answer is 206, but the closest among the option is 224. 44. The peace forged in Bohol between Legazpi and Sikatuna was known as Blood Compact. The unity between Legazpi and Sikatuna was forged through a blood compact or sandugo. 45. Wika ang ginagamit sa lahat ng ito maliban sa pakikipagdigmaan. Ang wika ay hindi ginagamit para sa pakikipagdigmaan. 46. A person's right to protection against unlawful disappearance is the writ of habeas corpus. The great writ of habeas corpus is a fundamental right in the Constitution that protects against unlawful and indefinite imprisonment. 47. The diagnostic procedure that allows microorganisms to multiply in medium to determine the cause of infection is known as microbial culture. Bacteria culture tests are used to diagnose bacterial infections. 48. A story put together through an exchange of letters is called epistolary literature. Again, The keywords is exchange of letters, epistolary. 50. The Philippine legislature is bicameral because it has two chambers. Again, two chambers. The Philippine Bill of 1902 mandated the creation of bicameral or a two-chamber Philippine legislature with the Philippine Commission as the upper house and the Philippine Assembly as the lower house. 1. Which of the following best develops fine motor skills of preschool learners? A. Fun and challenging activities involving hand muscles. Why? Because fine motor skills involve movement of smaller muscle groups in your child's hands, fingers, and wrist. The option B, C, and D are specific activities of option A. Next, the concept of kindergarten school is drawn from a blank root word which means children's garden. The answer is German. The word kindergarten comes from the German language. Kinder means children and garden means garden. The term dates back to the 19th century. Friedrich Froebel started the first kindergarten, Garden of Children, in 1840. Next, which teacher's personal trait is demonstrated by being gender-sensitive and inclusive towards learners? The answer is fairness. Fairness is impartial and just treatment or behavior without favoritism or discrimination. The concept of gender sensitivity is a way to reduce the barriers caused due to the discrimination and gender bias, providing a safe and inclusive learning environment. 4. After the 1987 Constitution, what is the first legal basis that makes teaching a profession and considers teachers as professionals? The answer is letter B, RE 7836. The Republic Act 7836, or the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994, it is an act to strengthen the regulation and supervision of the practice of teaching in the Philippines and prescribing a licensure examination for teachers and for other purposes. Next, which of the following is the best relationship for the school and community? Letter C, partnership. When the schools and community organizations work together to support learning, everyone benefits. The partnerships can serve to strengthen, support, and even transform individual partners, resulting in improved program quality, more efficient use of resources, and a better alignment of goals and curricula. Next, what is the appropriate teaching learning strategy to respond to cultural diversity among learners? The answer is variety of teaching and assessment methods. Using random response strategies, the accomplished teachers of linguistically or culturally diverse learners use a variety of approaches that allow students to confront, explore, and understand important and challenging concepts, topics, and issues in manifold ways. 7. Which of the following exemplifies differentiated instruction directed at heterogeneous groups in the class? The answer is A. Different tasks appropriate for each group. Differentiation is commonly used in heterogeneous grouping, an educational strategy in which students of different abilities, learning needs, and levels of academic achievements are grouped together. What level of education is primarily aimed at by the U.S. Education are for All? Basic. The basic education comprises primary education. Next, which of the following shows a total physical environment that supports learning? Of course, safe and secure building and classroom structures. Physical environment can be related to both students' achievement and student behavior. A well-maintained and safe physical environment of high quality fosters positive attitudes and motivations related to the student's ability to learn. What kind of displays should be placed on bulletin boards of schools? A. Instructional interactive. Interactive bulletin boards are perhaps the best type of display. Students will spend more time viewing and attempting to understand interactive bulletin boards. Bulletin boards can be an important part of a lively and encouraging instruction environment. Next, by being sensitive and responsive in class above gender, racial, economic differences, or class, Teacher Mina has shown fairness to her students. Fairness is impartial and just treatment or behavior without favoritism or discrimination. 12. How will you characterize the use of PowerPoint presentation to deliver a lesson? A. Technology. Technology is a major part of life in the 21st century. The technologies used to deliver a presentation with strategies and tools are PowerPoint, Google Slides, video and screen capture, and online or live presentation. 13. What kind of teaching learning approach is adopted in teaching the same major subjects like English, Math, Science in the K-12 curriculum? A. Spiral teaching learning. In the K-12 education program, the spiral progression approach will be used in teaching science, mathematics, araling panlipunan, MAPI, and edukasyon ng pagpapakatao. Next, why are routines helpful for class management? To eliminate stress. Routines are important for helping people manage stress and anxiety. School-based routines offer children some sense of predictability and comfort to help ease those anxieties. Further, routines can help students lower their stress, form good habits, be more productive, and feel more focused. 15. Among communication indicators which can ensure effective communication between teacher and learners. Two-way. Effective communication is a two-way process. You will learn more when you are listening than when you are speaking, and that people will not open up to those they consider poor listeners. Which of the following ensures a safe and secure environment for learners in school? C. Caring and protective teachers. A safe classroom environment is one where learners feel physically, emotionally, and socially comfortable. They know that their needs are taken care of and that they are protected by caring and thoughtful teachers and members of their community. 17. Which of the following exemplifies making lesson relevant to the life of students along the three domains of cognitive, affective, and psychomotor skills? Of course, when we say relevant to the life of students, it should be lesson with real person and real events connection. Next, what is the major aim of essentialist education along traditional learning of school subjects? Thorough learning. Educational essentialism is a theory that states that children should learn the traditional basic subjects and that they should be learned thoroughly. Next, what level of the cognitive process is required in writing an essay on the personality of a fellow classmate? A. Creating. The revised taxonomy create is generating, planning, and producing. For example, to decide a new set of theater production, write a thesis, develop an alternative hypothesis based on the criteria. Why is a daily lecture not pragmatic as a lesson methodology? Because it is no longer used in modern teaching. Why? Lecture method is traditional teaching that is outdated form of instructional delivery that does not benefit students. Modern teaching method focuses more on teaching the students for improving their intellect behavior by using various new and innovative. Next, which of the following ideas exemplify stereotyping that is unfair to students, learners? So from the word unfair, it is a negative word. So among the options, letter B is the negative. All students from peasant communities are dull. 38. Teacher Sonny finds that the student in Lisa is emotionally insecure. Which of the following is the best way to assess Lisa? D. Align activities to her needs. Emotionally insecure students are lacking of self-esteem or self-confidence. Aligning activities to students' needs by making them control of their own learning rather than dependent on the goodwill of this teacher empowers students and builds their self-esteem. Next, which of the following is practiced in brainstorming situation? Letter C. No objections to ideas. During the process of brainstorming, there should be no criticism of ideas, and creativity should be encouraged. 40. Which materials will you use for instructional planning of course content and strategies? Letter A. Instructional materials. Instructional materials are the content or information conveyed within the course. It also aligns with all other elements in the course, including the learning objectives, assessments, and activities. Next, which is regarded by scholars as the faculty of intelligence linked to creative thinking among learners. Letter B. Imagination. Creative thinking is defined as a thinking that enables students to apply their imagination to generating ideas, questions, and hypotheses. 43. How will you characterize present efforts to use concrete situation in teaching math concepts and formulas? Applied mathematics. The term applied mathematics also describes the professional specialty in which mathematicians work on practical problems or concrete situations by formulating and studying mathematical models. 44. What is shown by results in a pretest? The answer is D. Previous knowledge. Pre-tests are non-graded assessment tool used to determine the pre-existing subject knowledge. Next, most important for classroom management is ensuring that the classroom management is how teachers influence student behavior environment conducive to learning. The primary goal is to maximize and minimize student misbehavior. 46. According to progressivist educators like Carl Rogers, what is the essence of creativity among school learners? D. Novelty. Again, novelty. 47. What kind of mistaken goal among students is hurting others to make up for being hurt, rejected, and unloved, thus becoming cruel or violent toward others? Letter D. Revenge seeking. The third goal of misbehavior is revenge. The mistaken belief of revenge is, I do not belong and that hurts, so I will get even by hurting others. Next, how is periodic reporting of students' grades useful? Letter A. As feedback. The purpose of British system is to give feedback to students so they can take charge of their learning and to provide information to all who support these students, the teachers, special educators, parents, and others. 49. What is the descriptor of for a numerical grade of 90 as level of proficiency? Letter A. Outstanding. The level of proficiencies 90 to 100 outstanding, 85 to 89 very satisfactory, 80 to 84 satisfactory, 75 to 79 fairly satisfactory, below 75 did not meet expectations. 51. What is demonstrated by DepEd's emphasis on learning and assessment for percentage contribution to the grade of students in grade 1 to 10? Letter A. More importance for performance tasks. The grades 1 to 10 percentage contribution. Written work 30%, 40%, 20%. Performance tasks 50, 40, 60. Quarterly assessment 20, 20, 20%. By understanding the percentage contribution, we can conclude that there's an emphasis on performance tasks for some learning areas. Next, what approach to motivating students is used by making encouraging remarks such as, I know you can do it. Keep trying. That's the boy, girl. The answer is letter A, assertive approach. First, success approach. Teachers' job is to help students make good choices. Teachers need to change whatever negative behavior exists and improve conditions so they lead to student success. Next, behavioral modification approach. Spend little time on the personal history of students. Positively enforce that they do on punishment, constant reinforcements, and models. Acceptance approach maintains that every individual needs to feel acceptance and belongingness. Business academic approach emphasizes the organization and management of students as they engage in academic work, standards and procedures, monitoring of student work, and feedback of students. Group managerial approach respond immediately to group student behavior that may be inappropriate or undesirable in order to prevent problems, then having dealt with them after. 53. Among thinking skills, complex cognitive means ability to integrate varied information. There are 7 thinking skills that will enhance students' processing and integration of information by Lettery 1985. First is the analysis, the ability to break down complex information into component parts. Second, focusing, the ability to select relevant or important information. Third, comparative analysis, the ability to select the correct item from several alternatives, compare information, and make proper choices. 4. Narrowing, the ability to identify and categorize new information through its attributes such as physical characteristics, principles, or functions. 5. Complex cognitive, the ability to integrate complex information into existing cognitive structures or long-term memory. 6. Sharpening, the ability to maintain distinctions between cognitive structures, including old and new information, and to avoid confusion or overlapping. 7. Tolerance, the ability to monitor and modify thinking of unclear information without getting frustrated. 54. Which item page in newspaper demonstrates critical thinking worthwhile for use in instruction on current issues and events? Letter A. Use page. Use page contains databases to search archives for several topics and issues and current events. Next, what is the descriptor for a numerical grade of 80 as level of proficiency? Letter A. Satisfactory. 90 to 100 outstanding, 85 to 89 very satisfactory, 80 to 84 satisfactory, 75 to 79 fairly satisfactory, below 75 did not meet expectations. 56. What is the philosophy behind Philippine schools that seek to promote democratic opportunities for all and humanistic education through lifelong learning? Letter B. Progressivism. Progressivism is to aim promote democratic social living. Teachers' role is to develop lifelong learners. The focus is the learner-centeredness, interdisciplinary or outcomes-based, and the trends, humanistic education, contextualized curriculum, and equal opportunities for all. 57. What is asked by the teacher in making students do a deduction or inference of the lesson presented to the class? The answer is letter C. Conclusion. Inference can be defined as the process of drawing of conclusion based on the available evidence plus previous knowledge and experience. Deduction is the act of drawing logical conclusion based on information given in a text, using one's personal experiences and knowledge of the world. 65. What is the aim for interpreting grade against standards? Assessment of behavior. Behavior are not measures of learning, that is why it is against standards. The inclusion of non-academic behavior in academic grades for the purpose of rewards or punishments is frequently criticized for invalidating the grade and hindering student learning. 66. Of the following, which will you implement as the most effective strategy for influencing human emotion for retention and discovery of learning? Using of inspirational tool like book, film, art, and etc. Using of inspirational tool is the most effective strategy for influencing human emotion for attention and discovery of learning. 67. How will you judge a student who gives unjustified reasons for what he or she knows was a wrong decision or action? For example, not coming to class because it's already late. B. Rationalizing. Rationalization or making excuses is a defense mechanism that convincing oneself that no wrong has been done and that all is or was alright through faulty and false reasoning. 68. Which of the following exemplifies a class dialogue? Discussion. Dialogues are an effective way for teachers and students to discuss the various perspectives in the classroom. 69. These are the rights given to the child in indigenous minorities, but not to include to be exempted from formal education. Convention on the Rights of the Child. Article 30 of the Convention states that in those states in which ethnic, religious, or linguistic minorities of persons of indigenous origin exist, a child belonging to such a minority or he is indigenous shall not be denied the right, in community with other members of his or her group, to enjoy the culture, profess and practice own religion, and to use his or her own language. Next, which best indicates a two-way communication between teacher and student? Open to lesson. Two-way communication best indicates by both listen to each other and share their thoughts or questions. 71. Which philosophy supports universal values in education, as these are important in molding young mind towards broad ideals, such as democracy, freedom, human rights? The answer is existentialism. Existentialism supports democracy, freedom, and human rights. 72. Among thinking strategies, comprehension monitoring is the ability to check progress. Comprehension strategies monitor the progress of these students. 80. What is the most preferable ratio of student for peer tutoring? Letter C. 1:1 student-student ratio. Peer tutoring is when students tutor other students, either in 1-to-1 or small group settings. 81. Which level of student planning establishes general content and often prepared by a committee of experts? Course mapping. Course mapping establishes general content and often prepared by a committee of experts. 82. Which of the following demonstrates the teacher's integrity? Moral courage. Integrity makes you secure and confident in who you are as a person. Moral courage is the courage to take an action for moral reason despite the risk of adverse consequences. 83. Which of the following shows the teacher's respect for human dignity? Working with people of different views. Treating each other with dignity and respect, listening to each other's point of view. 84. Among facets of the hidden curriculum that transmit right moral values, the most powerful by way of personal influence are teachers' attitude and behavior. Hidden curriculum refers to the behaviors and concepts unintentionally taught to children through the actions, language, and attitudes of teachers. 85. The most basic principle in mastery instruction is high rate of teaming that assess instruction, for example, use rubrics. The most basic principle in mastery instruction is the high rate of teaming that assess instruction or the use of rubrics. The way for values clarification by examination of situation involving values is action learning. Values clarification, a psychotherapy technique that can be often help an individual increase awareness of any values that may have a bearing on lifestyle decision and actions. The article will focus on two different approaches, clarification and analysis. It will not deal with inculcation, for example, teaching students to value something in particular, for example, honesty. Action learning or encouraging students to take community actions beyond classroom learning is also beyond the scope of the article. 87. Which correlative concepts will you not include as pairs to the positive-negative characteristic of teachers? Bubbly, resourceful. Option A, B, and C are positive-negative characteristic of teachers, while option D is positive-positive characteristic of teachers. 88. It is reasonable to say that high moral character is demonstrated by the following thoughts, attitudes, and deeds, but remotely to include nurturing at home and school. Remotely means in the list. Option B and D demonstrate a high moral character, while option C is also a high moral character because a good use of technology is one which improve human physical, mental, spiritual, and moral well-being. Thus, option A is the least among the three options. 89. When the industrial age introduced empirical research valuable as basis for objective truth. Observable and measurable evidence. Empirical research is the process of testing a hypothesis using empirical evidence, direct or indirect observation, and experience. 90. On transferring learning, how will you classify a demonstration applying first aid for accidental wounds, as done by an invited professional nurse resource person? C. Utilization related. 91. Among major schools of learning theories, which consider how the individual perceives the learning environment or situation. Letter C. Behavioral theories. There are 5 major schools of learning theories: behaviorism, cognitive constructivism, humanism, and connectivism. Additional learning theories include transformative, social, and experiential. The basic idea of behaviorism is that learning consists of a change in behavior due to the acquisition, reinforcement, and application of associations between stimuli from the environment and observable responses of the individual. 92. From contemporary cognitive psychology, learning is proposed to be task-oriented, purposive, and efficient, which is same as being goal-directed. Tolman's purposive behaviorism, he proposed learning types such as learning are always purposive and goal-directed. Cognitive maps, latent learning, and concept intervening variables. 93. What characteristic shows that the teacher has empathy towards learners or students? Caring and love. Being empathetic teacher helps students feel welcome, cared for, and loved. 94. How do you judge a teaching style of a teacher who is fussy teaching things over and over and is concerned with functional order and structure? Letter B. Compulsive type. Compulsive type on which the teacher is fussy, or what we call choosy, teaches things over and over and is concerned with functional order and structure. 95. Which of the following is simulation to abstract the real world in learning? The answer is letter B, role-playing. Role-play and simulations are form of experiential learning that allow students to explore concepts, practice skills, relate to others, see multiple perspectives, and engage in various modes of learning in the classroom. 96. What is encouraging teacher nonverbal behavior that can be used in the class? Patting students on the back. Use of nonverbal actions such as moving towards the students, responding the question, going nearer to student, patting students back, clapping for the students responding well in class, or etc. 97. These are the ways successful learners can add new information with old knowledge in a meaningful way, but not to include store new information and values. Construction of knowledge. The successful learner can link new information with existing knowledge in manifold ways. Knowledge widens and deepens as students continue to build links between new information and experience and their existing knowledge base. The nature of these links can take a variety of forms, such as adding to, modifying, or reorganizing existing knowledge or skills. 98. Which of the following situation can show that the teacher is chill in a tense situation? A. Not excited but calm. Both nervousness and excitement are thrilled emotions. Being calm in a tense situation help the teacher to chill out. 99. In the beginning, the learning goals and learning may be short-term, but these can be refined by the following initiatives but not include C. Skimming through lesson topics. Goals of the learning process. The successful learner over time and with support and instructional guidance can create meaningful, coherent representation of knowledge. The strategic nature of learning requires students to be goal-oriented, to construct useful representation of knowledge, and to acquire the thinking and learning strategies necessary for continued learning success across the lifespan. Students must be generate and pursue personal and relevant goals. Initially, students' short-term goals of learning may be sketchy in an area, but over time, their understanding can be refined by filling gaps, resolving inconsistencies, and deepening their understanding of the subject matter, so that they can reach longer-term goals. Educators can assist learners in creating meaningful learning goals that are consistent with both personal and educational aspirations and interests. 100. Modern universities abroad has yoga and meditation, relaxation, and wellness classes in their curriculum. Which values are integrated in this program of studies? B. Vital values. The vital values. These values are connected with general well-being. The corresponding states of vital values are feelings of health and sickness, aging, exhausting energy, vigorousness.
Social science. English.
1. He is best known as the author of the epic Ramcharitmanas, a retelling of the Sanskrit Ramayana based on Rama's life. Two, the Scottish folklorist and writer of fairy tales. 3. Which of the following speech articulators does most of the work in sounds like da, te, s, z, e, and da? 4. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often I wanted to gather your children together, just as a hen gathers her brood under her wings. 5. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, an inspirational quote from. 6. Who is the father of English tragedy? 7. He was known as the father of American short story. 8. Who wrote the oratorical piece entitled The Gettysburg Address? 9. Which of the following is a work of Samuel Langhorne Clemens? 10. Who is the American writer behavior behind the naturalistic novel Red Badge of Courage? 11. Who was the foremost French short story writer? 12. After several years of being single, she became an ape leader. 13. She is known for her penchant for jewelry. The capital word means. 14. Let us campaign for the total ban blank of harmful insecticides. 15. Your statement are impertinent to the case. The capitalized word means. 16. What do you mean by a cappella? 17. Which poem by William Ernest Henley answers the question, do humans control their own lives? 18. Quo Vadis is a historical novel by Henryk Sienkiewicz which means. 19. The book Historia Plantrum is written by. 20. The army's retreat was ignominious. What does this mean? 21. In the poem Ode to the West, Jafar directly addressed the west wind. What figure of speech was used predominantly in the poem? 22. The sun was a ball of fire over the mountain is an example of what figure of speech? 23. It is the collection of religious poetry written by Rabindranath Tagore. 24. A collection of 10,000 leaves with 4,500 poem forms. 25. What fallacy is committed when one uses a threat in his argument? 26. Which among the following sets of words is not correlated with each other? (27) What is the opposite of the phrase praise glowingly? (28) English sonnet is to Shakespeare. Italian sonnet is to. (29) The phrase increasing wealth can be associated with the word. (30) The speaker has an irrepressible sense of humor. The capitalized word means blank.
Natural science.
1. What is the cellular metabolic process that transforms biochemical energy into ATP? Two. The following organs have specific functions except blank. Three. The bond in sodium fluoride is which of the following types of chemical bond? Four. What type of asexual reproduction occurs when a new organism develops form and outgrowth as exemplified by corals? Five. What are the nasal cavities part of? Six. Organisms that decompose substances into products that can be useful are called blank. Seven. Eutrophication, which causes the depletion of dissolved oxygen in water, results into blank. Eight. If carbohydrates are hydrophilic organic compounds, lipids are blank organic compounds. Nine. Perfumes contain organic compounds called blank. 10. The word reptile means. (11) What do you mean by the word tundra? (12) Prions that cause diseases are made up of blank. (13) Which hormones are not involved in the control of glucose metabolism? (14) Hormones produces by the anterior lobe of the pituitary, secreted throughout life. (15) A blood abnormality that results from uncontrolled production of abnormal white blood cells by the bone marrow is known as blank. (16) Which of the following are the products of the light reaction of photosynthesis? (17) Mutation occurs when DNA is damaged, not repaired and replicated. The result is blank. (18) Saprophytes are organisms capable of the important process in which a substance is broken down into product that can be useful. (19) The approximate distance of the Earth from the Sun. (20) What is the most abundant inorganic compounds? 21. Which of the following nitrogenous bases is not a component of DNA? (22) Blank is the proteins that help speed up chemical processes in the body. (23) Blank is a complex carbohydrates commercially used in papermaking and biologically helps reduce the risk. (24) The polysaccharide temporarily stored in the liver of animals as instant source of energy is blank. (25) Which of the following common sugars is considered the sweetest? (26) The basic unit of protein molecules are the blank. (27) Which type of lipids is a biological component of the cell membrane? (28) Which monosaccharide is a component of ripened mangoes? (29) Chemical substances found in the living system that help regulate acid-base balance are called blank. (30) The powerhouse of the cell is blank.
Special education.
1. An act to promote the education of the blind. In the Philippines, which established teacher training course and Philippine National School for the blind. Two, an act establishing a 10-year teaching training programs for teachers of special and exceptional children. 3. In 1975, known as the Child and Youth Welfare Code, was enacted. For also known as Education Act of 1982, the state shall promote the right of every individual to relevant quality education, regardless of sex, age, breed, socioeconomic status, physical and mental condition, social and ethnic origin, political and other affiliations.
Five. In 1983, the Accessibility Law, an act to enhance the mobility of disabled persons.
6. In 1989, the law declared August 1st of each year as White Cane Safety Day in the Philippines.
7. In 1992, the law is enacted providing for strong deterrence and special protection against child abuse, exploitation, and discrimination.
8. In 2004, known as the Newborn Screening Act of 2004. 9. The Magna Carta for Disabled Persons. 10. It refers to the physical or mental defect or the loss or reduced function of a body part or organ. 11. It refers to a person-level limitations in physical and psychocognitive activities or an impairment which limits the ability to perform certain tasks. 12. 12. A problem encountered during interaction with the environment. 13. A developmental disability significantly affecting verbal and nonverbal communication and social interaction, generally evident before age 3, that adversely affects educational outcomes. 14. Simultaneous hearing and visual impairments, the combination of which causes such severe communication and other developmental and educational needs. 15. A hearing impairment so severe that a child is impaired in processing linguistic information through hearing, with or without amplification, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. 16. A condition exhibiting one or more of the following characteristics over a long period of time and to marked degree that adversely affects a child's educational performance. 17. An impairment in hearing, whether permanent or fluctuating, that adversely affects a child's educational performance, but not included under the definition of deafness. 18. It occurs when there is a problem in the way the inner ear or hearing nerve works. 19. Hearing loss caused by something that stops sounds from getting through the outer or middle ear, often be treated with medicine or surgery. 20. It includes both conductive and a sensorineural hearing loss. 21. Significantly sub-average general intellectual functioning, existing concurrently with deficits in adaptive behavior and manifested during the developmental period that adversely affects a child's performance. 22. Concomitant impairments, the combination of which causes such a severe educational needs that they cannot be accommodated in a special education program solely for one of the impairments. The term does not include deaf-blindness. 23. It includes impairments caused by a congenital anomaly, diseases, and other causes such cerebral palsy, amputations, and fractures of burns that causes contractures. 24. A communication disorder, such as stuttering, impaired articulation, a language impairment, or a voice impairment that adversely affects a child's educational performance. 25. An acquired injury to the brain caused by an external physical force, resulting in total or partial functional disability or psychosocial impairment, or both, that adversely affects a child's educational performance. 26. An impairment in vision that, even with correction, adversely affects a child's educational performance. The term includes both partial sight and blindness. 27. Significant reduced ability to understand new or complex information, to learn new skills, with reduced ability to cope independently, which started before adulthood. 28. A specific learning disability that affects a person's ability to understand numbers and learn math facts. 29. A specific learning disability that affects a person's handwriting ability and fine motor skills. (30) A specific learning disability that affects reading and related language-based processing skills.
Social dimension and teaching profession.
1. Teacher Jade is concerned more on conceptual matters since reality is mental. She holds this kind of philosophy. Two. Jaffer pursues a degree in education to fulfill his dream of becoming a teacher. This action demonstrates this kind of philosophy. Three. When a teacher emphasizes that man's senses should be trusted because this is the only way to acquire knowledge, the teacher can be regarded as blank. For subject matter should help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals who accept complete responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions, from which philosophy is this thought based. Five. Teacher Kenji views his students as a unique, free-choosing, and responsible individuals. He encouraged them to develop their own individualities. What philosophy does teacher Kenji adhere to? Six. In the schools, we teach realities that cannot be verified by the senses like an invincible God or Allah. What philosophy does this practice negate? Seven. The values of education student teaches faith, hope, love, and values which are believed to be permanent values whether they be valued by people or not. Upon what philosophy is this anchored? Eight. Teacher Japhne believes that truth exists in objective order and independent of the knower. She is considered blank. Nine. If a teacher would say that honesty is still an important value even if no honor values it, the teacher can be regarded then as blank. (10) Curriculum's essence is the back to the basic education. (11) A curriculum should only include those that have survived the test of the time and combine the symbols of literature, history, and mathematics. Thus, curriculum like this contains values that are constant and universal. What philosophy describes this kind of curriculum? (12) In recent curricular revision, the humanities are gradually replaced by technical courses that bear practical consequences. This shows that curricular direction is toward blank. (13) Teacher Christopher's philosophy focuses on the acquisition of the 3 R's. His philosophy is rooted in blank. (14) When teacher is convinced that it is best to teach students with skill to adapt to change since change is the only thing permanent in this world, he or she subscribed to which philosophy?
(15) Specialization is knowing more and more about less and less. Hence, it is BLEPT to be a generalist.
16. A school principal emphasizes the importance of the humanities in the curriculum. To which the educational philosophy does he adhere? (17) Teacher Hanny, unlike Ethet teachers in her school, practices the non-traditional method of discussing the lessons using not only book prescribed by the school as the main sources of information and knowledge. Instead, she went out of her way to devise other means that will help her students to understand better their lessons. To what philosophy does teacher Hanny submit to? (18) Giving rewards and reinforcement are the primary technique of this philosophical point of view. (19) Blank claims that reality is politically, socially, and economically formed. (20) Teachers has rich philosophical heritage, one which advocates the learning by doing. This philosophy has roots in blank. (21) The highest pleasure consists of simple SNF moderate life. Pleasure is attainable only by reason. (22) Pleasure is the only good thing. They will foe anything, whether it's morally right or wrong, in order to attain pleasure. (23) Disturbed conscience trying to restore good relations with God by means of sorrow and repentance. (24) Conscience that tends to follow the easy way and to find excuses for mistakes. (24) Conscience that tends to follow the easy way and to find excuses for mistakes. (25) Constantly afraid of committing evil. This conscience is a result of a stubborn character. (26) Subjective assurance of the lawfulness or unlawfulness of certain actions to be done or to be admitted. (27) Suspends judgment on the lawfulness of an action, and therefore the action should be omitted. (28) It means that a person is hypocrite, saying good things but doing the opposite. (29) Judges what is bad as good and vice versa. (30) Judges what is really good as good and evil what is really evil.
Ons for professional education keywords.